Hi there. How are you today? My name is Leslie Plazz. I am the author of The Audacious Adventures of Zazoo Plazz, part-time superhero, full-time mom. And today is April 30th, 2020. Day 30 of the Zazoo Plazz April Video Challenge. I made it. I did a whole month of videos, 30 days of videos. You could go back and watch the other ones if you haven't seen them yet. Or if you've been following me, thank you. Welcome back. So, wow, better make this a good one. Last night, I'm going to talk about dreams today. Last night I woke up at the middle of the night, it seemed, and I looked at my clock and it said 1:25. And I said, oh, okay, I know what I have to talk about tomorrow. So, basically, I want to introduce to you a character in my book who was my high school teacher, Mr. H. Allen Greer, whose 83rd birthday would have been today. Passed away, unfortunately, a few years ago. But today he would have been 83, and coincidentally, that is the year I graduated high school, 1983. I was rummaging around in my jewelry box, and I found this. I don't know if you can see it. It says Eclat 1983, and on the reverse it says editor. So this is something that I received. I was editor of my high school literary magazine my senior year. I was co-editor, so there were two of us, and I had written for the literary magazine all 4 years, and Mr. Greer was the moderator. He was the faculty advisor for the literary magazine. And I just happen to have my yearbook. I won't tell you what high school. You'll have to read the book to find out. But I can show you the picture of me with my fellow literary magazine classmates. And see if you can see that. See, there's Mr. Greer in the plaid blazer there, and I'm over here. See, he looks a little bit like Orson Welles, doesn't he? Yeah, I always thought that he would have made a good double for Orson Welles. I talk about that in the book. So he wasn't just the moderator for the literary magazine. I also had him in homeroom because my main name is Bilodeau, and he had from the first part of the alphabet. So senior year, at least senior year, I was in his homeroom, and I also had him for a couple of classes, honors English classes, literary arts it was called, and then another senior class. It was sort of like psychology and literature or something. It was fascinating. My favorite kind of stuff, like my favorite classes ever. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot in those classes. I learned a lot from him. And, when I think about it, I think he was really my favorite teacher, hands down, in high school. And life is a classroom, right? So we're constantly learning no matter how old we are. And we can learn a lot from our dreams. So I want to read a little bit from the book, from this chapter, about Mr. Greer. And the name of the chapter is Welcome to Room 125. Now, a little background. I'm talking about 1979. I was a freshman, incoming freshman at my high school, and despite being very prepared, I was running a little bit late for my first class, which happened to be Mr. Greer's class. And in the style of Edgar Allan Poe, who I learned in Mr. Greer's class. He was actually an Edgar Allan Poe scholar, published in 1972. So he was a Poe aficionado, an expert on Edgar Allan Poe. Those scary stories that keep you awake at night, those types of stories. So this story is written in the style of, say, The Telltale Heart or some type of Poe story. So I say, and this is after I'm running a little bit late. I go into his classroom. Things, I learn from that experience, basically. And then I say, 40 years later, I reflected on how fitting it was that the day I met the teacher who would challenge me to be salt for the earth and light for the world by pursuing a writing career would resemble a nightmare. In fact, I often dream I'm running late for a class I can't find or walking into classrooms filled with teachers and students I don't know to take exams I must pass, years after obtaining my diplomas. My father still has those dreams in his 80s. So, the moral of that story, and I reflect on the fact that, Mr. Greer could have, with his multiple degrees, English, philosophy, could have gone into business, could have become a professor at one of those schools with the ivy crawling up the side and, wear blazers with corduroy blazers with patches on the elbows, those types of professors. And surely he might have made more money doing those things, but Spirit guided him to be our teacher. For whatever reason, and I'm very grateful still to this day. And I know he's up there. He probably knows all about Zazoo by now. And I get the feeling that he'd give me a thumbs up. I get the feeling he's up there guiding me somehow. So, what are your dreams telling you? And what have you learned? Pay attention. Somebody's trying to teach you something. So, until next time, may you be filled with light, love, and laughter. Remember, Zazoo Plazz makes a wonderful Mother's Day gift for the mom in your life, or you might be the mom, the person who most needs to read Zazoo. See you next time. Bye-bye.